Ja Morant will remain with the Memphis Grizzlies despite a fresh locker room confrontation. The team is actively exploring trade possibilities for their star player, and a tense verbal exchange with teammate Vince Williams Jr. in Berlin on January 14, 2026, has fueled speculation. With the Berlin incident, on January 14, 2026, the Grizzlies held a pre-game shoot-around in Berlin ahead of their NBA Berlin matchup against the Orlando Magic. Video surfaced showing Morant in a heated verbal standoff with Williams Jr., lasting roughly 90 seconds. Both men gestured animatedly, with staff stepping in to separate them. The footage, first shared on X by user Ongosoil, shows Morant in a white shirt and green sneakers facing Williams, who wore a number 5 practice jersey while holding a basketball. Other players and staff looked on at an arena adorned with dragon and Tisset branding. Lip reading from fans and media suggests the altercation stemmed from a disagreement during practice. The exchange reportedly included Morant saying, "It is what it is. Y'all don't agree with me, I don't with y'all." What? While Williams Jr. responded, "Let's go to the back," Morant shot back, "Why, I'm right here. You've been here for 5 minutes. You're not like that, bro." Tensions escalated, but no physical contact occurred. Some noted Williams gesturing toward the locker room, hinting he wanted a private resolution, while Morant insisted on resolving it immediately. This incident came just a day before Morant was set to speak on ESPN's Shams Charania report from January 9, 2026, confirming that Memphis was open to trade offers for their 2-time All-Star guard, marking the first time the team had considered moving him since drafting him 2nd overall in 2019. At a Berlin press conference that same day, Morant addressed the trade rumors when asked about his reaction to the news.
Since the reports that the Grizzlies were listening to trade offers for you, which they had been explicit in the past, they were not doing that. So what was your reaction to the news, and do you think that you will remain with the Grizzlies past the trade deadline?
You said what my reaction was?
Yes, sir.
Live with it.
When questioned about whether he expects to stay in Memphis past the February 5th trade deadline, Morant deflected the query, offering no definitive answer.
Do you think that you will be with the team past the trade deadline?
I'm the only one you asked that question to?
Oh, no, but I mean,
Who
you're
else
in
you
front of the
asked?
microphone too.
Who else you asked?
I'm talking to the people who run the team.
What they said?
You gotta let me type the story first.
All right, next question.
The phrase "live with it" has emerged as a defining quote of Morant's current circumstances, 2 words encapsulating disappointment, resignation, and subtle defiance. He was ruled out for the January 15th matchup against Orlando due to a right calf contusion. Appearing in just 18 games this season and averaging 19 points on a career-low 40% shooting, the Grizzlies, sitting at 17-22, have managed a 10-9 record in his absence. No official statements have come from Morant Williams or the team regarding the Berlin incident. Though the video continues to circulate, the coaching clash, the Berlin confrontation, did not happen in isolation. To understand Morant's strained relationship with Memphis, one must consider earlier season tensions, notably with rookie head coach Hugh Elo. After parting ways with Taylor Jenkins, the Grizzlies entered the season under Elo, a relatively unknown figure tasked with managing a team built around Morant's explosive talents. The transition was rocky, culminating in public friction. Following a lopsided loss to the Lakers in late October or early November 2025, Morant subtly criticized the coaching staff during a post-game interview. Statements like "go ask the coaching staff" suggested frustration with his minutes and decisions, signaling a growing disconnect. The fallout led to a highly public confrontation between Morant and Elo, during which the rookie coach openly challenged the star in front of the roster, a move that either could unite or fracture the team. The organization responded swiftly, suspending Morant for 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team. Sources claim this incident worsened internal divisions, with teammates giving Morant space, further isolating him. ESPN's Tim McMahon later remarked that Morant's relationship with the Grizzlies might have become unsustainable, a stark reality for a player the franchise had invested heavily in. The coaching conflict reflects a broader pattern of disengagement this season, with Morant visibly frustrated during timeouts and disputing strategy in playing time under Elo. Even his prior season exit interview hinted at desire for influence in roster decisions.
My job is to play basketball, man, so I try to stay out those convos and stuff as much as possible. Continue to leave it to the higher-ups. I feel like if I get into that, it's a lot more that's comes my way, so I just try to keep that pressure out the way.
For those statements now appear particularly telling. Morant portrayed himself as someone who preferred to avoid front office matters. Yet mounting evidence suggests friction with nearly every organizational decision maker. The coaching tension also highlighted Memphis's struggle to fully utilize Morant's skill set. In that same exit interview, Morant addressed the team's offensive approach, providing insight into his vision and frustrations.
Where the offense should be focused.
Yeah, the style of play as it relates to you.
No, it doesn't matter to me. I just feel like as long as we playing the right basketball, I don't care who's the offense, is built around or for. For me as the point guard, I just go out there and do my job. The job is not for me to score 30. It's to make everybody around me.
The public stance of selflessness clashes with private discord. Whether the disconnect stems from stylistic differences, personality clashes, or deeper organizational issues remains unclear. The phrase "he holds everybody accountable" now carries new significance. Perhaps Morant could not tolerate such accountability, making conflict inevitable when a new coach demanded compliance from a player used to operating freely. The injury factor. Discussions about Morant's potential departure cannot ignore his persistent injury woes. Once considered the NBA's most electrifying young point guard, he now faces comparisons to cautionary tales like John Wall and Derrick Rose, athletes whose bodies limited their potential. Since the 2023-24 season, Morant has appeared in only 77 games, an availability rate that poses major challenges for a franchise relying on him as a cornerstone. This season, his right calf contusion sidelined him against Orlando. He has played just 18 games, averaging 19 points on a career-low 40% field goal percentage, with his three-point shooting in decline, raising concerns about fit in a spacing-oriented league. Morant candidly discussed these frustrations during his previous exit interview.
We had a frustrating season with injuries, including getting undercut twice while in the air. Nothing you can do about that. But is there anything you feel is in your control to try to alleviate the injury issue going forward?
I felt like every injury I had this year was out of my control.
On the surface, injuries appear inevitable. Contact injuries, especially when airborne, are difficult to prevent for a player whose game relies on acrobatic finishes. Yet the cumulative impact has created a perception problem. Multiple outlets now label him injury-prone, diminishing trade value and raising doubts for prospective teams. Memphis has indirectly highlighted the issue, posting a 109 record without him. Trade speculation has surged, with Polymarket indicating a 69% chance of a trade before February 5, 2026. Financial considerations compound the risk. Morant earns $39.4 million this season with 2 more years and roughly $87 million remaining, and he will become extension eligible this summer. Kelly Iko of Yahoo Sports noted Morant hopes for a max extension if traded. Any acquiring team would assume both his salary and the pressure of committing heavily to a player with a fragile health history. His career-worst shooting further fuels doubts, while the highlight reel finishes that defined his early career have become more cautious. Morant acknowledged his mental struggle but tried to remain optimistic.
During Media Day earlier this year, you said this was the happiest you have been. A happy Ja is a scary Ja. I was just wondering where your mindset is coming after, this season.
I wouldn't say I'm not happy because I'm able to do, what I love, at the highest level every day. But I'm not happy that I was not able to be out there as much as I would like to, for my team. And I'm not happy that we weren't able to, achieve our goal. But like I said earlier, it's positive in everything. And I know what this offseason looks like for me already, and it just makes me excited to go into next season.
That optimism now appears fragile, overshadowed by trade rumors, locker room tension, and coaching conflicts. The trade market. Interest in Morant is widespread yet cautious. Memphis reportedly seeks draft picks and young talent in return, unlikely to match typical superstar trades. Comparisons to Trae Young's recent move suggest a value-focused approach. Miami has emerged as a leading potential destination, partially fueled by Morant's reported $3.2 million Miami property purchase in late December 2025, 20 minutes from the Casa Center, sparking speculation about his preference. He reportedly respects Heat coach Eric Spoelstra, also Team USA head coach, aligning with his 2028 Olympic ambitions. Initial discussions between Memphis and Miami reportedly occurred but remain preliminary. Fit remains a concern Miami demands. Defensive commitment and selflessness, traits not consistently demonstrated by Morant in Memphis. Other potential suitors include Sacramento, Milwaukee, Toronto, and the Clippers. though his value and injury history complicate potential deals. Career worst efficiency, behavioral concerns, and a recent suspension all factor into front office calculations. Joe Varden of The Athletic reported Morant may have told teammates he would refuse to play for Memphis. This mirrors Jimmy Butler's Miami departure, where disengagement triggered organizational upheaval. However, Morant has made no public trade request, and Memphis remains willing to retain him if no acceptable offer arises before February 5th. Salary matching further complicates deals.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, with this season, like Zach Kleiman just said, he feels like, y'all weren't close, at the end of the season. When you look at, what y'all had in the locker room and kind of assisted, how close do you think the Grizzlies are to get back to, being at a championship level?
I honestly say it depends on us and what we want and what we want to do, and if everybody's bought in. That plays a lot in being ready and not being ready.
Conditional statement, if everybody's bought in, takes on new meaning. The locker room Morant referenced has endured suspensions, conflicts, and public airing of grievances, typically kept private. Trading Morant signals the franchise may have closed or never fully opened its championship window with him as the centerpiece. Retaining him requires confidence that relationships can mend and his health holds. GM Zach Kleiman stated the team's current performance was insufficient, hinting at questions about roster construction. The organization must consider rebuild around Jaren Jackson Jr., accumulate assets for a future cornerstone, attempt one last reconciliation with Morant. His comments on prior playoff series reflect ongoing self-belief, though it may conflict with present realities.